So did you know that in Entity Framework, you can use the from SQL row method here to run custom SQL query? So here you can see we are just getting any students who are over the age of 20. Now you could have done this using link. So you can see here, this is the link method of doing it. So this is using the where method here, and then you can use the order by and then to list. But you can use the from SQL row and you're executing it against the context here and students. So it's important that this bit is referring to the students class or their DB set, and you're accessing the context. And you can see here, even with the link, you're accessing context and you're accessing students, but then you're applying your link methods over here. Whereas here we are just applying a from SQL row, and we're just applying a row SQL statement over here, and pretty much doing very similar to what this statement is doing. The other thing you can do, even with the result from SQL row, is you can then loop through the order students too, which is this row SQL method, and you can still, for example, update the name of the student and save the changes back to the database. Because although this seems like a raw SQL query, but Entity Framework is able to match it against the student class. The reason it's able to match against the student class or the DB set is if you look at your program structure, this is what a student looks like. And what we are doing is when we declare a DB set, we are saying it's of type student. And that's where the students table exists in the backend. Have a look at our backend database. So you can see we have the following student: John, Sarah, Ali. And you can see the structure of this. This has an ID column, a name column, age, city, and is active. And you can see here we've got the same structure here. We've got the ID, the name, age, city, and is active. So although you can see that it appears as a raw query, but Entity Framework is clever enough because you're using the context and student is able to map this back to the database. So if you make any changes, then this code will still work when you do save changes. Remember, the query that's returned here and the object that it returns are trackable for changes. So let's test this out where we are updating anyone that is over the age of 20. So this means that over the age of 20, so that will be Sarah and John, their names should get updated. So if I run this over here, and you can see this is finished. So if we go over here and refresh our database, now that our code is finished running, and you can see the name has been updated over here. So by just using from SQL row, we are not losing much of Entity Framework's capabilities. If you have a situation where you need to use raw SQL versus using the link methods over here.